The following is a conversation between four karaoke hosts that offer their entertainment services in the area of Sarasota, Florida. Their comments, ideas, jokes, sarcasm, and conversation belong to them as individuals and as a team at Sing SRQ. This dialogue is not a reflection of the venue Rafferty's, and it does not represent the thoughts or moral standards of Rafferty's, their employees, or their customers. Enjoy.
All right. So, if you guys can remember to try to talk into these microphones the same way we ask people at karaoke to talk directly into the microphone. We're not doing the whole headphones thing. Not this time around anyway. Maybe for the next time if and when we do another one. We are coming to you from the Treehouse at Rafferty's Bar and Grill, which is on Main Street in downtown Sarasota. Got some nice chill vibes. I know we turned the air conditioner up, but should we open up one of these windows maybe? Yeah, that'd be nice. Adam, I'm going to nominate you, if you wouldn't mind. See, the thing is, we're not really getting the room sound. If we do, it'll come from that camera. But everything else is just going to come directly from these microphones. So we're not going to worry about any kind of, I know there's any background country music. I'm sure that won't be a big deal. So we opened up the window, and now we got some nice little airflow. It's a beautiful day. What is this, March 10th?
That's correct.
It is the 10th, yeah.
Because in 1 week, it is St. Patty's Day.
Which is Adam's favorite holiday.
The holiest.
If you take a look at his face, you might understand why St. Patrick's Day.
He's glowing.
Also, how long has it been since you've had a sip of alcohol?
It has now been, so it's been 11 months and 11 and a third month. So if I make it
and in a week, you're breaking that?
That is awesome.
No, I got to make it through. I got to make it through.
You're not gonna.
By spreading cheer on St. Patty's Day.
St. Patrick's, this is a Sunday, by the way. St. Patrick's lands on a Sunday.
Yeah, so I host that day.
You host that day, but I think most places around town and around the world will celebrate the Saturday before.
Right.
Because everybody works on Monday.
Yeah.
And you're not going to drink.
I'm not. I've decided I'm not going to. I'm way too close to go to a year, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't quit now.
Just go for it.
I still can have a amazing day on that day because I just like dressing up like a giant leprechaun and handing out beads to people.
Just seeing an oversized leprechaun walking down the street, that's definitely going to put a smile on a ton of people's faces.
Exactly, you know what I mean? The drunker they are, like the happier they are to see me. It's crazy.
Exactly.
How long has it been since you've had a sip of alcohol?
Oh, it's been quite a minute. It's February 14th, made a year again. But
Wow.
I've been in recovery overall for 5 years.
Luna, like myself, likes to drink tequila. And
I
so
love
it's
tequila.
better when Luna doesn't drink tequila.
That's correct.
How about you, Sam? How long has it been since you've had a sip?
What time is it?
What time did you get done working last night? Sometimes I'll go home after a gig.
It's been several hours.
Yeah,
Going on a couple hours
Same
now.
for me. I mean, I came to see you last night, and I was on a tear. Luna came to help me out for a private event we have over at the Sarasota Garden Club. You killed it, by the way.
Thank you. So did you and your band.
People were loving it. And then so after the rigmarole, you guys know how those private events can get like just a lot of work, a lot of physical stuff to do, grunt work as I call it. Gotta go out and let loose. So I came to see Sam. Decent night.
Here at the lovely Rafferty's.
We do karaoke 3 nights a week at Rafferty's. So we asked the owner, Carl, if we could use this upstairs for our very first podcast. And I don't have any notes. I should probably make some notes about what we're going to talk about
It's probably
today.
a good idea.
Probably a good idea. I think what I mostly wanted to talk about was just about life. Well, first of all, I kind of want to interview you guys as a team because we had a nice little meeting maybe about 6 to 8 months ago when we went to go get some oysters and some
Was it
seafood.
that long ago already?
It's probably around that long. I think it was just like late summer.
Okay.
And most people, when they work, they have a chance to like work with coworkers. But with our line of duty, it's pretty much solo all the time. It's very rare when we have opportunities to actually hang out. So I wanted to use this as another chance to hang out and maybe even get a bit more formal and get to know each other a little bit. So I think one of the first things I'm going to do is ask you guys to talk a bit about yourselves. We'll start with our oldest team on the Sing SRQ team, Mr. Sam Cohen. Cohen, you are Jewish.
What up?
You're pretty comfortable talking about your Judaism. But you're a bad Jewish person because you eat swine as often as you can.
Eat all that bacon.
Talk about yourself a little bit. When's
Cloven hooves?
I love myself a good ham and cheese,
yeah,
preferably grilled.
and what was it? It was definitely pre-COVID when I remember you were around the Sarasota areas doing DJ stuff solo, kind of on your own. And then I approach you. I'm like, would you be interested in maybe doing some work on the side, doing some karaoke hosting? And you're like, yeah, that sounds like you could do. How long has it been? 5 years? 7 years?
So, we talking, yeah, from the very start, back in the memories days. How long? I guess, yeah.
2018, maybe?
2017, 2018.
Like 7, 8 years almost now.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Are you from the area?
Yes, born and raised, Sarasota, Florida.
Talk a bit more about what you enjoy about doing this sort of karaoke hosting, and we've been doing it for a few years now. So obviously,
So
if
I've
you didn't
stuck
enjoy
around, yes.
it, yeah. If you didn't enjoy it, you'd be like, I'm
Got me.
deuces.
You caught me up in the karaoke madness.
Sam has often ladies he takes home at the end of the night, but you're on one right now. You think you're going to be getting married soon?
Not in the near future, but could be the one. We'll see. Until next week when I.
What would you say is your favorite thing about hosting karaoke on any night of the week? What would you say is your favorite thing?
My favorite thing about hosting is probably just
Other than what Lalo just said.
other than the lovely patrons, the entertainment aspect or like the show of it all. I've always been interested in being an entertainer or music-wise. Like I used to DJ just for fun around town, and so being able to incorporate that and
Just
make money.
Put out
is
those
like
put out
probably
those
the best
vibes of
thing.
like
yes.
yeah, hosting, entertaining. Yeah, for sure.
Making people have a good time.
When you have like a house
that's-
party, it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
Not
it's
you,
like-
but anybody that has a house party.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's like now being able to have a party every day at work.
And
pretty
then
much.
what would be the least favorite thing that you would say about doing karaoke hosting stuff, aside from the lovely patrons? Because I know that was one of your favorites. I'm sure it's also the opposite. So
Yes, sometimes it can
dislike.
also be the worst part of it all. But
Besides them, though.
besides yes, everyone has their ups and downs. I think the least favorite thing about it is
Was it the late night?
is maybe the late nights of like once you're out of work, your adrenaline's still pumping, and so to then like have to get to sleep and then maybe
3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
and if the sun is coming up, we're luckily. Congratulations, we've all made it back to daylight savings
Right.
time.
I didn't even know it until
This
last
is
night.
the first day.
Somebody reminded me like at 11 o'clock last night when I was packing up, like, don't forget your touch. I'm like, what?
And so now I'll still have maybe an extra hour of darkness to fall asleep to after work instead of the sun coming up. And then,
I remember in our
just like,
interview you had said
we're
that.
gonna keep going.
Like you get like hyped up with the energy from people. And
Yeah,
doing
you
the
still have
job,
an
and you're like,
adrenaline rush kind of thing after you're all done with it and you've packed up. You're still kind of, or at least I am, still going.
What do
Still
you call
going,
them? Gator
definitely.
rails? Gator tails? What's the euphemism for cocaine? Like a nice little line of cocaine.
The gator tails?
Gator tails, is that what they call it in
Well,
Florida? Gator
yeah,
tails?
I think that's a Florida thing. I don't
By the
know
way, this
where-
is not
where
live, so
I-
we can say whatever the fuck we want, right? This is coming to nobody right now.
Lots of
And then
editing.
we'll see what-
Cocaine.
Hell of a
for us.
drug, man.
Oh my God, that
Yeah.
was like your mantra when I first met you. Cocaine.
I still get in trouble for it. Like people can't take jokes, and I have to start prefacing my shows by saying that. I started putting it on the bartenders now here, and like I talked to Kat or whoever. I asked Kat if we can get a thumbs up, and she gave me consent. She said it's
There was
okay if we
consent.
have an adult show tonight, so nobody has to get upset or offended if I start. You hear the word cocaine or titties, it's gonna be fine.
There you
Kat
go.
said it was okay.
There you go. Caveat that.
Yeah, it's just fun to talk about. Like, it's just like when you hear the word. It's like, obviously the drug itself gets you perked up, so all your ears get perked up. But just for everybody out there that knows, we do not have cocaine to sell you or find it for you. Don't ask us.
We do not have the means. I'm sorry.
We personally
We
do
don't
not
have any. We're not gonna do
have the
any, and
ability, and we're not going to do that, and we're not
not
going to
gonna help you get it.
facilitate
Right.
that for you.
No, that's just not. That's above our pay grade, honestly.
Exactly. We don't get paid enough
It's
for
also
that.
illegal.
Right. There's that part as well.
That's
It's
the
also
part that I
the-
forgot.
Oh yeah, that other part.
It's just bad. For
Maybe
you.
more an hour.
It's bad for your heart. Your heart already gets enough horrible stuff put into it, so
Right.
just don't. So thank you very much, Sam.
As Luna and I slug down some Red Bull.
That's fine. That's
Well,
fine.
yeah. A Red Bull on top of a gator tail. You don't want that. You don't want that.
So thank you very much for coming out today, all three of you. And there's something else we want to talk about. And thank you, Sam, for sharing a little bit with us. He's been on the team the longest. We love Sam. I've got people complaining about me. I've heard complaints about pretty much everybody on the team. And now that I remember that, there was a complaint about you over at Office Park.
Yes.
We're, I think, a bit too gone. But we've all had those nights, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, Sam's a sweetheart, and we love having Sam on the team. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Luna's been with us the second longest. Luna. So many names.
Oh, can we like redact my extra 2 names there?
Yeah, we can definitely not
Yeah,
put
what's a real name?
actual real
What are we
names.
doing?
Yes.
into the public forum. Not a big deal.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna find us, if they want.
If they want.
So,
Luna means moon in Espanol, translates to moon in English. Do you still put a moon on your table when you're hosting?
Currently, I don't have a moon. There is one coming. There's one in the mail. It's on the way. It's
Okay.
on the way.
I was about to
It's
say, like,
more
come on
high
now.
tech. It's like super sexy. I love
oh
it.
damn,
Yeah,
she
I'm
getting
excited.
into it now.
Yes.
Maybe are you a big Star Wars fan?
No.
Have you also never seen Star Wars?
I have also never seen Star Wars.
In the first film that came out in the 70s, they think there's a little moon they're going to land on, but it turns out to be the Death Star. So maybe I'll get you a Death
I'll
Star.
talk about that when it's my part. But I've also
You can
never
trick
seen
me with
Star
it.
Wars. So see, out of 4 people here, I'm
God.
assuming that there's 2 of us.
You've been with the team for 2 years. I don't think we had met, which is kind of weird because I've been around Sarasota for quite a while, doing entertainment out in the public eye sort of thing. And then Luna came in one time over here at Rap Race. I think it was downstairs. Jumped in the contest. Was that part of it? I had a contest going on. You were in that, and then after that, I'm like, yo, let's get together. Am I remembering this correctly?
So sort of before that, you and I had actually met because I was doing live gigs here with my band before I had started doing the karaoke, and that's how
Gratitude.
the Gratitones, yes.
Gratitones,
Yes.
Gratitones.
The Gratitones.
Shout out.
Yeah, so we met there, and then one day you were like setting up. You came outside after I was breaking down for my gig, and you were like, there's a contest going on, you should join the contest.
That's what it is.
And then after the contest, you and I had a conversation about, joining the team and possibly just getting to know like the lay of what it takes to get a karaoke gig set up and then see if I wanted to pursue it further.
So you can obviously see when somebody is like got the vibes about them that would go into playing like an entertainer or a host that kind of people gravitate towards with their energy. So I saw that in Luna, and then you've been doing kind of gigs totally separate from Sing Us or Q, which is awesome. I want anybody on the team to be able to get any sort of extra work that they can find through any means. That's what I was going to ask you. You used to have a full-time job.
Oh yeah.
Do you currently have a full-time job?
I do not. I am doing the DJing and the singing and the entertaining full time. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm loving it. It's
That's what's kept me doing it as well
Nice.
for like over 10, 12 years, which
Yeah.
is like not having a real job.
yeah.
It's pretty nice. You have a full-time job, Sam?
Not anymore. Well,
So all 3 of us are pretty lazy. Adam, you do. We'll get to Adam in a second, but you do have a full-time job, right?
Yes and no.
Until you can find, we have enough work that can supplement not having to have one, is the idea. We're getting there.
That's about right.
It takes time. So Luna, it's been 2 years. As a karaoke host, what's your most favorite thing of doing it?
So I guess an example would be like last night there was an older singer who was really nervous and said that she'd never done karaoke her entire life, and her friends had kind of, pressured her.
Her palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy, mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
She was very nervous, and she kind of froze up there. And of course, like we have the capability to make somebody feel a little bit more comfortable up there with with the tools that we have. And so I was able to kick up a couple things here or there, make the sound, just a little bit more comfortable for her. And then I was able to bring her friends over and encourage her friends to back her up and help her out in the song.
Yeah.
And at the end, she like came over to me almost in tears, like, thank you so much. Like, I was so scared and you made me feel so happy up there, and I was actually able to sing. Like, she had an amazing time, and I mean, granted, she was probably a little tipsy, but I made her night, and the fact that I was able to supply that joy to somebody, was, it kind of made the night worth it. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a super positive aspect that I don't think anybody ever really thinks about, because karaoke is just so intertwined with alcohol, and it's people think it's almost like a bad thing, because like I understand how somebody would not like. I think I'm an audiophile, and that even like a bad shitty singer I'm like, I like it. I enjoy it. Like Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins got a weird, whiny, nasally voice. Love it. And almost anybody, like if they got the guts to put out any kind of crappy music, I love that. Like, yeah, put it out there. And I think so. There's a thing called music therapy. We have to go to school for 4 years, 6 years, and you could actually help people through music. It's a employment, right? None of us have done that, but we have this opportunity through our small means, our little crappy setup of microphones and music. And I've had also people say, like, my therapist said to go to karaoke to get over my anxiety. And, like, people have come through for, and it's interesting because you've been doing it for 2 years, 7 years, 1, almost getting into 2 now. And people come and go, for sure. I mean, people either move to the area, they find new friends, they lose their friends. You see regulars for a while, and then they disappear. It's just part of the thing. But sometimes you'll have a season or 2 or 3 seasons of seeing somebody's regular face, right? And I've had people say, like, this is amazing, this is therapeutic, what you're doing is really great. And so that's a very positive. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for that. Just without even having to go into school, giving people that opportunity or that therapy, it's pretty great.
Absolutely.
People and like they also just the social aspect of being able to go to the bar, whether they're drinking or not, is like to have something to do and have that, like, because everybody needs social interaction, and so this for some reason always brings people together and is definitely a therapeutic, like, it's people have been coming back for like years, like that I met way back in the day.
Like, you remember, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen you like in 3 years. What's up?
Yeah. And there's a reason that
Like,
they
I
come
just got
back
out of jail, man, but I'm back.
Last time I saw you, I got so drunk I could put in
There's
jail.
a lot of gator tails going around.
I'm back.
That happened to me for the first time the other night. He was like, yeah, I was here last year, and I'm back in town, and I remembered you guys have karaoke, and I wanted to say hi. And I'm like, oh, snap. He
and
remembered me.
they want to,
Hell yeah.
get that feeling again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And
Really
what
good
would be
sound.
the least favorite thing you would say you have about the whole karaoke realm that you've noticed over the past 2 years that gets on your nerves?
I would just say that I'm lazy, and it would be nice to have somebody to break down at the end and pack up all my
Or at the beginning, too.
or put my stuff together in the beginning and
There was a lot of grunt work.
roll in. Yeah, it's
When your brother was interested, he's like, this is a lot of work. I'm like, it is a lot of work.
it was nice having him around for a little while because we were training. I was training him, so I got to say, hey, come over, set up for me
Boss
for
him
half an
around.
hour, and I was like, go set up for me, and I'll roll in when I'm ready. Like, it was kind of nice.
Yeah, the grunt work is the thing. And there's a lot of equipment. And here's the thing, though, like, karaoke happens across the world, right? It's been around since the 40s, 50s, whenever the Japanese, Filipinos invented it. There's like a big argument between them about who was the first one.
Oh, snap.
But for sure, karaoke is a Japanese word, and it's the most popular. So, even though music comes in waves, decades, things are popular for 5 to 10 years, and then they leave, and then the new thing happens. Karaoke is just capturing that, right? Just capturing generations of those waves. And so that's why I think it's always been around. It probably always will be around as long as people still love music. But that being said, there's so many venues around the world that offer it, and it's usually pretty shitty. And I think I might make a note right here to remind Adam to tell me to talk about the other places you've seen him around the area, or other karaoke people who are just not great hosts because they don't have whatever that little thing that I think I found in other people that to give them that empathy to share with other people and draw them in and make them feel comfortable and confident and just like part of the group. So not only that personal aspect, but just the equipment they're using is shitty, right? And so it is a lot of gear that it takes to get set up, and we use it all. And I think I've gotten to a point where it's a better product. So we've taken the karaoke idea, and it's a better product. What we offer at Sing SRQ. Yeah, cool.
I got a compliment last night on how well the microphones sound. Like, specifically, there was a guy who was like, this, like, that's part of like what I think people like is all the high quality stuff we do bring.
Yeah.
And so it does like set apart us from other places, and so
Right.
people will come
Right.
for just like the quality of the microphone. The guy was like, I'm coming back here.
Wow, it's pretty
So-
cool. Let's move on to Adam, a.k.a. ATL,
Oh, yo.
a.k.a. Beardy Man.
These are just your AKAs.
You're from the Chicago area.
I'm the tallest leprechaun, That's right.
I should come back actually before I move. You're from the Bronx area, Luna. Is that right?
I am originally born and raised in the Bronx. Yeah. Bronx, New
York.
York.
And you're a Sarasota person for the time being for
Yeah.
quite a while now.
7 years now I've been living here in Sarasota.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much. ATL is from Chicago.
Yeah, we say the Chicagoland area because there's like a good hour, maybe a little bit more outside of that.
Quick break. Just you can put them right here. We're gonna munch if we feel hungry. This is Brian, one of the amazing staff over at Rafferty's. Thank you so much for delivering.
Wait, come back.
Thank you, Bray.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you. Yeah, guys, dine as you feel if you're hungry. An hour out of the Chicago area. I think most of Chicago is suburbs around it.
It's a
and there's,
suburbs, right? You know what I mean? But
main-
people
the
like
main
to say,
city.
it's like the only place that I know of that's like
Chicagoland?
the Chicagoland area, and people like to totally understand what you're saying. That's a weird expression.
Everybody drives into work and then drives back where it's
But
affordable.
like people there get it, and that counts for that. But like people try to claim, that they're like right outside Chicago and they live in like Indiana or like Michigan, and we're like, dude, that's not the Chicagoland area. That's you live in a different state. So that's basically what Chicago is, though, or Illinois is really. It's that you drive south for about 4 hours to Normal, where there's like a college, and then another 4 hours south from there, which is and then, before that it's our capital, but like then there's like Urbana-Champaign. And like that's it, like where there's another college. That's all that's known about Chicago,
I know there's
Illinois.
great lakes close by, but it's probably not great for seafood. Because one of the funny things I remember when we had our first team meeting, Bronx close to seafood, known for the Northeast, known for seafood. We're from the Florida area, known for seafood. And when we went, you were like, oysters, what? You guys are putting what in your mouth and swallowing?
Yeah.
You guys are used to hot dogs and burgers.
So let's go ahead and put it out there. I am not a fan
potatoes.
of seafood. I am not a fan of seafood. Yeah, we don't really eat that stuff out of the lakes.
The first 18 years of life, nobody's bringing you.
Nobody's bringing me that. You know
some
what I mean?
shrimp to try.
My dad was a butcher. Could make pretty much anything, the best of the best. Cuts of meat, and grill that stuff up real good. So yeah, you don't get exposed to that, and then you come here and everybody's like, hey,
18,
let's.
like your taste buds have been formed. I'm not trying to add anything new
let's
here.
add in this bug that's still alive and moving around, that's grown like huge, and then like, oh, you need this one. How do I eat this? Oh, you need this hammer to smash through it to open it up and get its delicious bug meat out. And I'm like, nah, I'm all set. It's not my thing.
The best food is worth fighting for.
Is it? Well, it is worth fighting for. The cow is probably not that easy to
vagina.
take down, but we've
Luna
just
means vagina.
oh.
When
Well,
they mean
that's another thing.
They mean vagina. You got to fight for that.
Yeah,
JJ.
well,
Yeah.
you do. But my point is that separating the two, they've commercialized the one kind, and it's way easier. I don't really have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
So 18 years old, 19, you moved to Miami.
So about 15, I moved to West Palm Beach, like
When you were
Lake
15
Worth
years
area.
old?
Yeah, I finished up high school there.
Beach.
And then from there, I went to Miami. I went to the University of Miami, and I was
One of
there.
the interesting things I remember we talked about is that you were raised around a sort of area, maybe a bit more, I don't want to say the word ghetto, I just mean like from a neighborhood that's very cultural, right?
Yeah, you
And
can say that. I mean, I lived
you-
in government housing, like
You
so I was
lived
in
in an
Section 8
area
housing.
where the N-word was a word that you were accepted with and
Yep.
you used with your good friends.
Very
However,
true.
after you left an area and you met a bunch of new people, you realized that was not your word.
Yeah, so no, I was accepted in the community because I was out, but we were the only white family there, obviously. And being a younger kid, obviously, could
Yeah.
just not really knowing any better, really. But I mean, that's what everyone was saying, and it was really more of a term of endearment with everyone
Sure.
around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Wasn't
sure.
in a derogatory way at all. But I got to college, and I was saying it a few times
You learned quickly.
around people that did not know
did
me,
not know you,
and
right.
didn't know that at all, and I got checked real hard, and I had to make that decision and like sit down and talk and like honestly figure out what the problem was, and how it could be offensive and hurtful for some people,
And I want to talk about your college career. And I don't want to get off the subject real quick.
and pull
because-
that out of my diction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People will sometimes use karaoke as like an excuse to be able to use it, and we have to check people real quick. Now, as a person of color, I might see somebody and not know their background, how comfortable they are using it, And so, like, literally, if I just see, like, I pass for white, if I were to see somebody that looks with my complexion, I would say, which I always tell people, I even tell you guys as my co-host, to be like, let them know that if they're white and they're going to try to use that word, that they're going to pull them off the stage.
Right.
But a person of color, I wouldn't think twice because they might have that comfort level. Like, you guys know, have you met downtown?
No.
Very, very, I would say a person of color that is very comfortable with the word. You can tell that she grew up using it, and if she wants to use it on stage, fine, person of color. I think they get away with it. They get a pass. But people that look like us, the three of us, I would be like, just let them know it's not going to. This is not your excuse to be able to drop it as much as you want.
It's not even like, I don't even know if it's like profiling. It's just more of one of those things that it's like, hey, let's not cause an issue in this here establishment over something that we don't need to. You know what I mean?
And it will. Like, I do it from experience. I'm just not causing an issue. Like
the radio, if the radio is gonna bleep it, like, all right, then I mean, like, let's go ahead and just do that. Now, obviously, we let them swear pretty much every other word in the song. You know what I mean? Stuff that's not like offensive to a specific cultural race. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of other swear words in a lot of songs, and we're cool with that.
Some bars don't allow swearing at the bar. Have you ever been into a bar like that?
I don't think I want to go to a bar like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible bar.
I don't know. That used to be Memories, actually.
Oh, what?
Oh, wow, okay.
They would yell at you if, we got away with it.
Remember.
We got away with it, but they would like give you the dagger eyes if you let someone get out of hand. Or I've definitely been a.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and
That's hilarious.
And
Hey,
but
let's
so
keep
my
the
question
language
is,
professional.
my question is, why do you think they do that though? Do you think it's just for like the bartender may not be able to decipher what's joking or what's like an actual problem, or why would they not have swearing at the bar, especially the grimy dive bar?
People's sensitivities.
I've always wondered.
Maybe because it's so divey, like, I just want to push it. You want to keep away from any potential pop-ups of, like, maybe. You were going to say something, though, about...
Oh, yeah. So, like, growing up in the Bronx, like, I can kind of identify with what you were saying about, like, growing up on that part of Florida.
Yeah.
I was raised around people... Well, I am a person of color myself. I was raised around black people, Spanish people, Latino, whatever, And, I mean, we all... Even the white people, we were all calling each other, the N-word, my N-word, and all that stuff. And growing up, it was definitely acceptable in my community.
Yeah.
And then there was a point, I believe, I think I was 14 years old when socially, like, culturally, in the media and in the airwaves, it started to, like, kind of, like, fold back, like, it's not everybody's word. And I mean, I picked up an understanding, and then it wasn't until I moved into a suburban area where families who had been raised in the struggle in the Bronx or in places like the Bronx were trying to come up from the Bronx and from, like, the struggle into, like, a better area. Meanwhile, we were all just moving into, like, a mini Bronx, but meanwhile, we were all trying to make a better world for ourselves, right? And the black people that I had met out there were not calling each other that, and they were not calling white people that, and the Latin people who were calling each other my N-word were getting, like, that quick, like, who are you, and you're not black, why are you saying that word? And, like, so now when I'm working, like, it's not even about racially profiling somebody. I will literally say, if the song has the N-word in it and you are not black, please don't say the word.
Wow, take a step further.
I mean, I kind of think you got to be clear. You have to be clear, especially when you look like me. You have to be clear. I don't have that menacing height and beard, so.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got going for me. But my skin can't be paler. You know what I mean? So it's like it's very obvious. Don't
let Luda's profile though like make you think anything, because what was the story you told me about the bouncer over in Gulfgate? Like, a guy bigger than you, larger, like girth-wise, And for the first one or two times, he was, like, terrified of Luda. Like, after, like, the third time, he finally comes up to them and says, like, "Are we cool?"
Basically.
It was something like that.
I guarantee. You have to go into it. It's a stare.
There is a presence.
I guarantee it's a stare from her.
At this point,
or the lack of the stare, but the face.
At this point in the story, the way he tells it, I ended up throwing a EV speaker at his head. Like, and this did not happen. I did not throw anything at the guy, but that's how he tells it. So we'll just keep it that way. Don't mess with Luna about it.
They threw a speaker at my head.
Man,
the legend grows.
It's just gonna keep going. It's gonna get worse.
So West Palm Beach, You learn it's not your word. And we're going to get off the subject of the word because we could have an entire hour conversation about the world and telling people what words to use and what not to use, but we won't go there. You're an amazing Halo player at the University of Miami. This is what I hear. That's the story as the story goes.
Yeah,
you were
that's
number
true.
2 in the world?
I was a very highly touted Halo 2 player.
When people walked into your Halo 2 arena, they knew you were in the room.
Yeah, they knew I was there. And I basically I met my best friend. Was not my best friend at the time. They all hated me. I was very cocky. I just proclaimed that I could beat
Mr. Rob, what's his last name?
Rob Young.
Rob Young.
One of our other
hosts that fills in sometimes.
MCs, yeah.
We love Rob. He's in Italy right now. Shout out to Rob.
I met Rob probably the first day, second day maybe of college. And
So I met you through Rob.
Yeah.
Second day of college, you guys became good friends.
Flash forward.
We flash forward to like 10 years, whatever. And then I'm seeing Rob around town. He's hosting trivia. I'm realizing he's good people. Reliable is a big thing for our team or for anybody, I think. Like, show up on time, get the job done. And I get Rob on the team. I'm start training him. He learned how to do karaoke. He's like, listen, I'm not going to be as available. I got my friend moving down.
And I had finished up in Miami, and I was back up in Illinois. I was taking care of my grandma, stuff through COVID and all that kind of stuff.
You're one of 10 children?
I'm oldest of 9.
Oldest of 9.
Parents had me, and then they had 2 families of their own. I lived with my mom growing
Parents
up.
can't stop.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what poor people do. You know what I mean?
Can't
better.
Can't afford
You know,
TV.
yeah, really.
You're one of 4?
Yes, one of four, but one of us is adopted.
Oldest
so.
of 4?
I am the yes.
Oldest.
The
And you are
ancient.
one of 1.
I'm one of one.
One of a
Rare.
kind. I moved down here in November of 2022.
And you
I moved
immediately
in.
joined, and I'm immediately giving you work. And end of 20.
Yeah, I think I
I'm
met you within the
stressing.
first week of me moving down to Sarasota.
Yeah.
And me being
I
here.
need so much help. We need so much help at the time. And I think I asked you at the early few months of 2023 to leave your full-time job, which you were hating as a driver for Amazon.
Yes.
And
Oh, yes.
you started to join full-time. I started to lose a bit more stress. I'm giving you gigs because we're just in Sarasota. I think we had talked about this, all 4 of us, that every single day at all hours of the day up until like midnight, there are private events happening all around this area. There's plenty of work, and not only that, we've been able to do 7 nights a week. So 7 nights a week, we need somebody on the team making it happen, right? So you joined the team. It's been about 2 years now. Are you enjoying it? I think you are. You're still doing it. What's your favorite thing about hosting karaoke?
I mean, it's great. I mean, you put me into it so fast. I think that's because the first night I learned my first setup at Gator Club, and I was like, this is way too much. This is insane, but all right, cool, whatever. So I'm just setting up and tearing down for you every day, and then you started like.
within a month. Or 2,
Yeah, I was
giving you your own
hosting, and I was
space.
like, "Holy, all right, let's go, like, let's do this." And I didn't have any experience in that at all, but I was loving it.
Yeah.
And so,
What would you say is your favorite thing about it?
Favorite thing about it,
You have
yeah,
2 nights a week right now. Thursdays at Bayou Hut, Sundays at Rafferty's. What do you like about it?
Obviously, I think we all get some sort of high from doing it. A non-chemically induced high, which is just a more natural high. It's a good feeling.
Significantly healthier, yeah.
Getting that energy from the crowd. I can come there dead tired, and by the end of the night, even if I am tired, having a couple of the music I'm playing, and if I just can get that crowd to start engaging, and they do, and they start coming up. That's it. That's all it takes, and I just start getting into it, and kind of just like it's like. It's weird. It's like a vampire. It's like I'm like pulling energy from other people. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'm like soaking it up. Hey, well, if there's 50 of you, I can take some energy from all of you, and you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's fair. What's up?
Yeah, I was
You were gonna say something, Luna? What was that?
I was gonna say it's not like you're draining these people of their energy; you're energizing them in return. So it's
So my absolute favorite part is that I love that feeling that I get. But as Luna was saying, getting somebody that is terrified to go up or that never has done it or maybe thinks that they are terrible at it or they have that anxiety, and I can tell it and I can feel it and I can help them get past it by being like, listen,
Yeah.
I'll sing backing behind you. I'll turn up this and this and this on the thing, and I'll make you sound like you got auto-tune on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll put the backing vocals up so people won't even, and it's just whatever it is. And then I'll drop like that stuff down during the song, and let them just kind of go. And they end up being fine. You know what I mean?
You
And
ease them into it.
Yeah. That's like my favorite part. But yeah, I'd have to agree with Luna. Like when I get a first time person up there, like I had somebody who was they said they were like a 60-year-old. They'd never sung karaoke. They're like, that was the first time I ever did that. I was like,
Oh wow.
you know what I mean? Like awesome. I'm glad I could be your first for that. That's really cool. Let's give it up for that person.
There's a Jerry Seinfeld joke that says like people are more terrified in America of talking publicly than dying.
Yeah.
So that means if they were at a funeral, they'd rather be the person in the box than
giving the eulogy. Yeah.
So I ramp that up now. No, you don't have to just talk to a crowd of people. Now you got to sing for them. Are you kidding me?
Entertain.
Right.
Wild. Yeah, I love that. That's very positive, and I think again people are just connect karaoke with alcohol and just like singing. And again, as a audiophile, like I'm fine with the singing. That doesn't even bother me so much. It's like giving people that opportunity to like, because it's not a big deal, right? It's not a huge deal at all, but they make it up in their own mind, and like people are gonna judge me, man. Those people, them kids, bro. What's
The
what
bar
is
is-
your least favorite thing? I think what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the bar is just as drunk as you are, bud. Nobody's
Right, like
paying
everybody
that much
else is
attention.
drunk,
Yeah,
and
right.
especially if it's early or if it's late, I always try to like. That's where I really try to like grab onto someone if I see them, if they've come in a couple times and they still haven't done it. I'm like, yo, this is the perfect time right now. There's like 5 people here. Like,
Right.
what's your excuse right now? You know what I mean? Like get you up there, and then they get up there, they do it, and then they're up there again next week.
Then they can't resist. Yes.
What's your least favorite thing about doing this?
Yeah, so again, the perks of going last here is everybody else gets to do all their stuff and steal
You get to steal our
the things.
answers.
But you get to prepare.
Yeah, I got to prepare. Cool. No, but this particularly because you've given me so much is I hate tearing down things because Lalo has a very specific way of things, if you guys would agree with that, in terms of setting up and how things should look all perfect. If he doesn't know, most of the time it doesn't look that way when he's not there for all of us, at the individual places. But he trained us in such a way that it should be that way. And if he shows up and it's not, you're gonna hear about it. At least that's what happens with me.
Yeah. Only you.
Me, specifically, not from other people. Just me.
Yeah, just from you. It's from you. They don't come and tell me like it's
I'm
not set up
the thing
right.
you hate most about your job.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Where's the?
It's the fact that I've learned how to be so meticulous with it that I hate having to tear it down in just a short amount of time. I'd rather be out there for another several hours.
You don't want the party to end.
Yeah, I don't want to end it after such a short. After I put in all the work to set it all up, you know what I mean? And then I guess being a perfectionist, it's hard to make that kind of stuff. Like, it's hard to just let some of those things go. Sometimes things just aren't. You're not hearing it right, or something's off, and you just have to be able to figure it out. And sometimes you just have a speaker for the night. You know what I mean?
About audio stuff
yeah,
right now. Okay.
and you're something's bad on your board, and it's going to be shitty. So you just have to figure out how to make it less that way for that night and until you're done. You know what I mean? And figure that out.
That's not a horrible thing to say because we're really just talking about quality control and wanting to put out a good product. So cheers to you there for like even noticing and wanting to make sure that it's a good show for the whole room.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
I agree. That is something that bothers me as well. If like we were having some audio problems at Gator Club for a while until they finally fixed it and gave us our own separate plugin.
And there's like nothing you could do. Like you're
There's nothing
trying,
you could do.
You can't like swap a cord out or like whatever.
It's not on our
Mess
end.
around with the
It's on
mixer.
their end, and that used to really bother me for a few weeks, and now it's when I turn it on and it sounds like perfect. I have like just a sense
It's
of
a nice like
That's
sense
such
of
a good
relief.
feeling.
Yeah.
That's actually my only note that I have from this entire meeting is like I wanted to talk to you about that for a specific place. That one audio thing that I can't control myself.
Let's talk about that probably. Do you want to talk about it on the podcast or does it really matter?
I mean, I don't want to shout out the place for sure, but
Well, I mean, we'll just like for this, like right now, Sam.
We'll redact.
All right. This out. Let's just talk about it now before.
sure. So, I mean,
Or we could just bleep out do it.
The name.
Yeah, just
Say
bleep
say
out
it
the
say it
name.
better.
Exactly, yeah.
Go for it.
Say the name.
Let me guess.
Let
let me
us
guess.
know.
Is it?
it sure is. It is.
The house. We're plugging into the house sound.
Yes.
Not
Not that one.
bleep,
Because you
bleep,
bleep,
bleep.
bleep,
You bring, right. You bring your own speakers.
Yes, I bring my own speaker so I can control all that. The sound comes out
I should have
there.
already bought a speaker. Like paying an extra. wild.
He is
So
paying
silly.
out the ass for that, and you know what? I'm not gonna complain. So
I felt bad. I'm just like,
Tell you how
I know,
cool
I
it was
do
when I
feel
showed
bad.
up
He would've
to
bought
fill
a
in that one night and there was no speaker because it was blown out the night before.
oh, how fun!
And
And
I
somebody
didn't
else
have
blew it
speaker.
out.
that's
Yeah.
why you don't let people that aren't audio like that. That's why the mixing board is such a.
So now I always have a speaker in my car.
And DJs just don't get into this world of like they're just like plug and play, start playing. Like no, there's a whole audio aspect of making the room sound good
Right.
with the music. Okay, so let's move on to the next person because I don't want to keep you guys all day. This is kind of like a hello and intro to the world out there in case they had. Probably nobody's gonna have any interest in listening to any of us, but you know maybe your mom wants to chime in or.
That's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, and there might be other KJs out there. We do this as a job, so we do get paid for it. And so this kind of segues into the main point of our topic today, which is we have regulars that come out often, but also Sarasota is a tourist community. Siesta, Lido Beach. The beaches bring people, right? It's a pretty chill vibe. Not too much crime and murder happening in the area. So
That they let you know about.
Right.
that I know about, right? They keep that off the news.
Oh yeah.
Keep it off the news. So this is for profit. We have a tip jar that we keep out there, and that tip jar we're not really the sort of
Well, we all have our own tip jars.
we have our tip jar. We have a tip jar out there.
They're all unique.
And we're not really seen as like servers or bartenders or hosts that are in the realm of getting tips all the time, right? So a few years back, I was already doing it. I think most people do it without even thinking about it. It's the sort of thing back in the day of like old school radio was called payola. You want your song on the radio? Grease up that DJ that's got the airwaves of that region, and you can do it pretty much everywhere across the country. Like
Sure.
Money talks. So people were coming up to me like, how much to go next? Because how long is it to sing? It's an hour. I have to wait an hour to sing.
An hour.
Or
Am I next?
Or you could go next.
The way you first explained it to me when I first started was, hey, guys, we live in a capitalistic society.
Oh yeah, we do live in a capitalist society.
And that's how you explained it to me. And from that point on, I was like, it's not unfair. It's not whatever. This totally makes sense.
You do it everywhere else. You do it for Disney, for Six Flags, for Universal, the Fast Pass, and all that
You're
stuff.
talking about like I believe at Busch Gardens they have something called Quick
Queue, yes.
Or United States Postal Service has a thing where you can actually get your package and deliver it next day.
Amazon has it.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Next day service, man.
Right, people pay hundreds, $120. I think it's $140 now.
Like crazy
So that you
amount.
can get your package delivered to you within 2 days.
Prime
There you
now.
go.
Prime now. Was it Ronnie Chang?
Yes.
Good reference. Prime now. I'm getting my hand right now.
I hit that overnight shipping all the time.
Sometimes you need it, man.
Yeah.
So a couple years ago, I started to actually make it a bit more obvious, and it's posted now. It's posted so that everybody is aware of it. Just because you didn't see it, it doesn't mean we didn't put it out there. It's there. You can see it. Anybody can see it. And also anybody can do it. When we're talking about, we've taken the idea of next day delivery or getting a shorter line like you can at theme parks. I think maybe Disney, somebody told me Disney stopped doing it because, am I wrong?
They definitely do it. It's,
Pretty sure it is called Fast
The
Pass.
Lightning Lane, I think.
Is it? Okay,
Lightning
good.
Lane.
I don't want to copyright it. You know, so
Yeah,
that's-
don't get copyright.
Disney will come after me for that.
TM.
But it's the same concept, yeah. Like any single like amusement park, like
I think
you got the one.
We were getting complaints about the idea of it because I think people just weren't aware that it was a thing. So like, oh, I would have done that 20 minutes ago. Waiting for an hour. Or like, wait, how many people just skipped me? Yeah, 3 people just skipped you in the line, even though you were 2 singers away. Now you're 5 singers away.
And that's because you had instructed us not to be, well, to be fair, right? Like to not be saying that at some places where the bar owners or management, weren't okay with us really making that a thing.
Right.
And putting that out there like, oh, we have this thing that you can do and, pay money to do this.
was a
We weren't
point.
making announcements on it.
There was a point, and then, hindsight's always, right, looking back like, oh, we should have done it this way. So now as you move forward, you realize you just have to have the conversation with these venues and say, this is how we actually, because we're not a tip-centric, like you pay us what you pay us, but, in an effort to make extra cash, or extra to pay our bills, we have this option. And when it gets busy, 5 singers, so I told you guys when we first started, you take one singer, one song, that's 5 minutes, right? 3.5 minutes for the song, about 1.5 minutes in between just so you can get things ready. People got to talk to you, you got to get your things in order, playing some in-between music. Maybe you have something you want to announce, like the bartenders, whatever it is.
Yeah, you're getting
What
sick.
was that nod? The microphone?
Yes, the
Thank you,
microphone.
Thank you. Okay.
You're getting 6 songs through,
Right. So
in a
if
half hour.
If it's 5 minutes per singer, 6 singers is half an hour, 10 singers is 50 minutes. Call it an hour. So you got 10 people signed up. It's a busy night. You're already an hour deep with 10 singers. Now the 11th singer has to wait an hour. What if they don't want to? What if they would like the opportunity to go next? So we give them that opportunity. Recently we had an issue, which might have been the entire, I can't believe this one person, but I've been wanting to do this for a while. There's one person, one regular. And again, people come and go. I didn't see this person 6 years ago when I started, or 10 years ago when I've been doing it for a while. So we want to talk about this because we want to have and show love for our regulars that come out and support us year in, year out. But again, they might be here for a season. They might be here for 2 seasons, but we might never see them again. And so that being said, the people that are in town for a little bit, the people that are going to be here for the next month visiting or whatever, that have the means and the desire to just go next, we were kind of prodded or poked or provoked, I guess, by a regular saying about their extreme displeasure with the idea of getting skipped and having to wait over an hour and not being able to participate when something that they absolutely love. They want to do this thing. They're coming out to support both the bar and our services and the actual DJ themselves, and they're not getting the opportunity to sing over an hour. So it was a very, very long message. I started a chain with you guys so that we could have this conversation about what we should do. I think the end result of the whole conversation is, I think it's tough.
Yeah, basically.
That's right. My initial, I think Lalo probably asked you guys, what's your initial reaction? I was like, tough.
The initial reaction is important, how you usually feel. And then after some thought, like maybe a day goes by or 5 days goes by, and you think about it some more like, okay, that has certainly some credence, but what are we to do? Like I thought about maybe making like, it's funny, one of the first things I thought I was making a subscription service out of our local karaoke opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost like a VIP card, like a Sing SRQ VIP card, where that means you could use that 7 nights.
Lalo always looking forward, always trying to get that comeback dollar.
I mean, that shows that you are a regular, that you're a Sarasota local, that you come out and support. And so that's what I was thinking of.
Card
and you
carrying.
can use that at any venue, at any Sing SRQ host, and that puts you in for one fast pass, right? One quick. That was an idea. The person that I shared that with, because I thought it was a genius idea, like, no thank you. I have no desire to be a stupid local karaoke subscription service.
I don't want to simp for your karaoke.
Wait a minute, that was the problem.
Well, they're already not tipping, so they didn't want to put any extra money in it. So.
Already not tipping. Yeah, the venue hires us to offer this service, and then this extra thing is how we kind of can get extra money in our pockets to pay for our bills. Nobody has to do it. Nobody has to be an Amazon Prime member. Nobody has to pay for Hulu ad-free.
That's right. And we tell them that every time. Hey, karaoke's free.
It is free.
It's free for
You
everyone.
have to wait. And like if you came in, and then there might be some where we as individuals that do see regulars coming in all the time to support us, whether they tip us $5 once in a while. I mean, there's one person that literally every time he comes out gives me $2, $3. Like, again, it's free. Never has to do it. And maybe I'm not doing a good job of showing that love back to like slide them in like two more forward, because I'm just like trying to be more clinical about it. I guess just like straightforward. And it's probably a good idea for
This
us
is the
to
pricing. This is what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's probably a good idea for us as a team to just be like, when you do see that person, that show them a little bit of that extra love by sliding them in a little bit earlier, I don't know. I mean, you start to when you go down that road, it's like, how often are we going to do that? Is it going to be every time? Is it going to be once a month? So it's a sticky wicket.
The one thing I took from Criminal Justice 101, my first major in college, was the discretion is up to us at the end of the night. So it would behoove us to move people around. You know, if they do show us a little extra love throughout the year, like we have one regular, which you can blank his name out if you want to.
We're gonna blank out the name. You're gonna have to dedicate a good 5 hours to making this edit, so you know.
No, he tips me, when he can, when season's in, he's a server and he works in the industry himself, so when season's around, I know he's going to tip me a little bit extra during season and stuff like that. When season's not around, I mean, he feels like he has to explain it to me, but I understand. You're not raking it in right now. You're not getting those extra tips. You're not getting that, tourism money that we get during that time of the year. So, you slide me what you can when you can, and I appreciate it, and I'm still going to do you a little favor here or there. Like, I know he just worked 8-hour shift. He closed out his restaurant. He's a regular. He wants to sing it at the end of the night.
After his long shift?
Exactly. He wanted to come sing a song, you know.
Because he
and-
knows that you're there or whatever.
and
that's,
I'm going to put him up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, throughout the year, he's been there and been very supportive of all of us, of Sing SRQ, of myself. And I'm going to give him that little 2 minutes of, you know, fun that he came looking for. So.
If any regular does watch this, and you know, I guess we wanted to convey the message that like we heard you, because it's a very thing, because we are tourist and seasonal. There's like a slow period in Sarasota between, I don't know, July to August when it gets super hot. Right? Maybe mess with those months a little bit, October to June, and you know, we try to grab that bag while it's available, and we might seem a bit more forthcoming with people that are willing to, you know, they're on vacation, that we probably never going to see them again. When they're going to drop, you know, a fast pass into our tip jar, we're going to move them up. But we did hear that, you know, we don't want to make our regulars feel crappy and not feel like they're not going to get an opportunity, because when the slow time does come for everybody, including us, we're going to need that same support to keep it going throughout the year. So
We need the regular support, yeah.
And we want to cultivate that. We want to cultivate that relationship.
Sure.
We don't want to be taken advantage of, right? Like we don't want to like have them expect that they're going to be singing next when they walk in the
as they walk
door,
in.
especially if they're not tipping anything, you know, at all. But like, hey, if we got like a regular night, you know, whatever, I'm definitely going to try to slide you back in there. You know, it's late at night. I got the choice between somebody going for a third time. You know, I'm gonna,
Right.
I'll get you. You know, I'll get you in there. You know, I'm going to get you in there instead.
Within reason, everything, you know, as long as you're not, I don't know, I think by playing it by ear and like, I think it's not that hard to be able to.
Just knowing that we each have like the ability to do that, you know what I mean, I think is helpful, you know, because you want to, you have that, you build those relationships. My relationship is different with each one of those people than yours, right? Than Sam's and Luna's and yours, obviously.
And
you know all these people.
I was about to mention that same thing. No, not drinking, drinkers, and then often people will come in like, "You ready for a shot?"
And
I'll say that to you. You might even say it to me.
Or if they're tipping, they want to like maybe they feel more comfortable buying you a drink than.
It's almost like supporting the venue and me at the same time. Anyway, yeah. So like that's also in the idea of like taking care of each other as regulars. Like, oh, let me get that guy a drink, or let me buy it back. So like I don't, you know, I hope nobody feels like that. I'm just taking advantage of that thing because I know I buy people drinks. I know that happens.
Try to take care of the people who take care of me.
You know, there's plenty of people that just come up and do get it. It's more the service industry people that get it, that just come up and slide a couple dollars or something without even, they might not even be singing, you know, but they're just entertained.
Right.
And I appreciate that more than anything, honestly.
Oh,
just
absolutely.
like, they're like, hey, man, you rocked it tonight. That's, when you came, thinking back, when you say, like, what's your favorite thing? Like, when someone comes up and was like, I had a great night.
And they
that
didn't
was
even
awesome.
sing a song.
You know what I mean? They were just vibing there. Like, you did a great job. Like, I had a great time tonight. And it's because of, like, you as the host. Like, that's why they had a great time.
I think
that's my
that's
favorite.
really positive, and I think we should end on that note. I'll also end saying that I love all the people that are on the team, and I hope that we continue to grow into 2024 with more events. Let's end off with one thing. If you could talk to a karaoke singer who's about to sign up, what would you want to tell that person now if you had an opportunity? I would want to say, don't ask me what you should sing. Don't ask me
Preach, brother.
what you should sing. Nobody cares. I don't care. Just the sooner you can get away from my face, that would be nicer for me. Just pick your song, be confident about it. Nobody cares. It's not a country bar. I mean, it's a country bar on Monday nights, but you don't even have to sing country.
No, you
You
don't.
can sing
No
whatever you
pressure.
want. Don't worry about what the vibes of the room are. Just do you. Make the room your own vibe. That's probably the best way to go.
Yeah,
Don't ask what
I
you should
would,
sing.
yes, I agree with that. I would say we all have a QR code on our desks now. So go find your song. Stop asking me if we have a song. That would be the best thing
Stop asking if you have the
if I
song.
have it. Scan
There's the
scan the
catalog.
thing and take a look. If you don't, sign up, make an account, and push that thumbs up button, and it'll probably be available in a little while.
Good.
But that would be my number one thing.
Don't ask if we have the song. Don't ask me what you should sing.
Don't ask us to vote for that song in the because we can't usually. Like
You
that's the
vote.
thing. Some people have the idea that maybe like
We're in control.
we're in control of adding things to Care Fun, or we can like have a like. I'm sure there's an account that you have where there's probably, but I don't even know how.
I'm pretty sure they can go on the website themselves.
Yeah, it's like
free to-
as
it's
long
free to
as they
join.
make an account, they can.
Yeah, it's free to join.
They can do it. So yeah, they should.
With the account
be
that we
able
have, we
to-
can do one
to
upvote.
take the time. We cannot.
Right, each
we
account can
cannot.
do one
We
upvote.
have
add
the same amount of
things that-
influence as they do, yeah.
Yes. But no, I would also to ask like what the vibe of the bar, what people like here.
Don't ask that.
Don't ask that. Because they like everything
Right.
and there's not gonna
Like if it was an 80s night and we were only doing 80s, we would let you know
that would
Right.
be
But it's
very
just-
Yeah, that's a
clear.
good point. That's a
yeah.
good
Just
point.
karaoke night, sing whatever the fuck
If
you
you've
want.
sat in there for 10 or 15 minutes and you've heard,
all
Go with
kinds of
that.
different things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go with
and then they ask you after that. So what do people like here?
Right.
singing,
Don't ask that question.
To touch on everything that you guys, I guess, just dance and sing like nobody's watching. Just do it for you. Have a fun time. Just let loose. Literally nobody in the room gives a shit. They're going to forget about it in 2 minutes because somebody that's either 10 times better or 10 times worse is going to go on in 5 minutes or less. So just let loose, let it rip, have fun. You're going to do great.
If you see me on the microphone, you're probably going to hear trigger words like cocaine and titties. If you see me and you don't like those sort of things, just pick a different place. And then when they're in the room, they're probably going to be a lot more chill. Super chill.
We smoke some weed.
triggering vibes, just nice and easy. Butterflies and rainbows.
I tend to get animated, but butterflies and rainbows, yes.
That's our beautiful team here.
But Lalo, before we go, what about you? What keeps you still going in with this stuff?
Not
What's
having a
keeping
9 to
you?
5 is a big one. It's been a lot of fun not doing that. Drinking on the job, it's really
Yep.
nice. I don't drink during the day much at all, and if I don't go out to work, I'm not really drinking at home. It is fun to let loose and unwind with people.
And know on Wednesdays you're going to get home safely.
I know that, yeah, I'm not being stupid. But yeah, giving people that opportunity, like it's pretty, life is pretty fragile. We're made of flesh and sin, and at any moment it can all get ripped away. So when people have any idea of like trying to get out and away from it all and just forget about life for a while, like the Piano Man song says, that we're there to be able to have them, like it's almost like an honor to be even thought of as the, like people go to movies to escape it all or listen to music to escape it all, and that we're like an option for them to do that is a pretty cool responsibility, I think, and trying to meet that challenge. Now you're saying we're trying to upgrade and do more stuff, and it's just because I think that you see little pockets where it could be better. Hindsight's 2020. Let's make it a little bit better. Let's see if we can finding new ways to pass through tripwires and like say triggering language, but also just remember it's a joke. Like I wish I was a stand-up comedian. I probably would hate it because you start to hate what you love, right? You start to do things that you love, and the more you do it, and now it's a job. So I think I would almost regret being a stand-up comedian. Hear those dogs?
Somebody's fighting.
Very violent out there. Jeez.
But one way or another, you still enjoy being on the mic. You still enjoy
It
the
is
crowd.
fun.
You still
I
enjoy.
love the sound of my own voice. So
Even though on Wednesday we have a permanent barrier set up by Sam or me for you
to keep people
to
away.
keep people away
I
from
like to
you.
talk to the people.
Yeah.
Keep them near me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to ATL, to Sam, to Luna. You guys
Absolutely.
are amazing.
Thank you, Lalo.
Thank you, Lalo. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do another one of these in a few months. We'll see.
Sounds good to me.
I like it.
Thank you. Signing off from Sarasota. This is Sing SRQ. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks.
No, I